Alec Baldwin still, knee-deep in the Rust investigation. We haven't heard anything from the authorities there.
And lawsuits.
But now there is a new lawsuit. It has nothing to do with Rust, but it is a big one for $25 million. And what's really quirky about this lawsuit that he's now facing, it comes from someone that he initially reached out to and wanted to help, someone that he really
did help.
Did help.
He helped her. This is a woman whose brother tragically died
in Afghanistan.
In Afghanistan. He is a veteran. And I believe Alec gave him $5,000. He saw it.
Saw the story and said, got in touch with her and said, here's $5,000. I want you to give this to your brother's widow. I'm really moved by his story. Now here's the twist. According to this lawsuit, Alec Baldwin later reached out to the woman that he donated the money to
publicly
and said on her Instagram, "Are you the same woman that I sent the money to for your sister's husband who was killed during the Afghanistan exit?"
This guy, this Marine, was one of the 13 who was killed during the Afghanistan withdrawal. So it was recent.
Right.
So Alec Baldwin caught wind of his name. His name is Riley something. I forget his last name. Reached out to his sister to get in touch with the widow. So he sent the money to the widow via the sister who kind of connected them. Later, earlier this month, that sister, because there's two sisters that are suing him apparently, but one of those sisters posted, a January 6th anniversary photo. She was at the Washington Monument. You see her out there with the MAGA cap. She's out there with a bunch of other people wearing the same thing.
So she was part of the rally?
Yeah.
No. So she was out there protesting or demonstrating pro-Trump. In her lawsuit, she and her attorneys are saying she was not at the Capitol. She was not one of the people who reached the Capitol. What Alec Baldwin allegedly did, according to her suit, is that he commented under that photo, and then apparently he went on to DM her, accusing her of being one of the Capitol rioters. She denied that and said, "No, I was just there at the Washington Monument in D.C. protesting, which is my right." And then he went on to say, "You caused the insurrection, yada, yada, yada." But then she goes on to say that he took it a step further, because if he would have ended things there, privately in the DM, would have been fine. Apparently, he went and published her photo on his own social media and said, "Hey, this is the woman I sent money to." And apparently what this woman is now claiming, and her sister as well, because she's suing him too, because she got mixed up in all this as well, as did the widow, by the way. They're saying that because he basically put their information and photos out there publicly, they've been receiving tons of hate messages, death threats, rape threats, all the terrible stuff you can imagine. And now they're suing for defamation, which I'm not a legal expert or anything, but on its face, it sounds like a pretty solid case for defamation.
Their distinction is just because she was at, I'd imagine, where President Trump was when he was giving the speech. They were at that rally, but never went to the Capitol, never walked down.
And people obviously,
had nothing to do with the
conflate
insurrection.
everything about that day. They conflate everybody who was there with the Capitol riots themselves. They're obviously different. But Alec,
has Alec taken down the photo? Because I went and looked at his.
He has scrubbed, and he's always scrubbing his social media these days. He puts something up one day, it's gone the next. That's his MO these days. But I think one thing, and we'll see what comes of it. Apparently, I'm sure there's screenshots of this because everything lives on the internet. So we'll see. He's going to have to answer for this.
Hey, so I'm Demario Jives from the King Jives Show, official King Jives on YouTube. I was just reading about this and I was listening to everyone talk. I think that Alec Baldwin really did put his foot in his mouth. And sad to say, but if whatever the actions are from this, he just has to suffer the consequences. He did inbox her, which he could have just left in her inbox. But he took it a step further and posted pictures and everything. And if they are truly receiving death threats and receiving some harm from what he's done, one, he is a public figure, a well-known public figure. And if he does this and they're receiving some backlash because of something that he's done, now I'm not sure about $25 million, but if they're receiving hurt or harm because of this, they're well within their right. It's not like it's fake or anything. Well within their right.
You can't, you can ask for whatever you want. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. The $25 million, I agree with you. Yeah. The sad thing about this is it started out as a really kind gesture.
A kind thing that he saw a story and was like, you know what, I want to help your sister-in-law.